Welcome to this video. Have you ever felt like you just wanted to disappear? It's a thought that many people experience, but few talk about openly. Today, we're going to explore the complex and often misunderstood topic of the desire to not exist. This feeling can be overwhelming and confusing. You might wonder why you're having these thoughts or what they mean. You're not alone. Many people grapple with similar feelings at some point in their lives. In this video, we'll dive deep into this subject, looking at what it means, why it happens, and how to cope with these challenging thoughts. Let's start by understanding what we mean when we talk about not existing. This concept goes beyond simply wanting to be alone or take a break from life's pressures. It's a profound feeling of wanting to cease being, to no longer experience consciousness or interact with the world. It's important to note that this desire is different from actively wanting to harm oneself. Instead, it's often described as a wish to peacefully fade away or never have been born in the first place. People interpret this feeling in various ways. For some, it might be a temporary escape from overwhelming emotions or situations. Others might view it as a philosophical contemplation of existence itself. The interpretation can vary greatly depending on an individual's background, beliefs, and experiences. Now let's explore some common reasons why people might experience this desire. One major factor is overwhelming stress or pressure. In our fast-paced world, many people feel crushed under the weight of expectations, whether from work, family, society, or themselves. When these pressures become too much, the idea of not existing can seem like a relief, an escape from the constant demands and responsibilities. Another significant reason is feeling disconnected or isolated. Humans are social creatures, and when we lack meaningful connections with others, it can lead to profound loneliness. This isolation can make life feel empty and purposeless, leading to thoughts of non-existence as a way to end the pain of loneliness. Experiencing intense emotional pain is also a common trigger for these thoughts. This pain can come from various sources: loss, trauma, heartbreak, or ongoing mental health struggles. When emotional suffering becomes intense and prolonged, the desire to not exist can feel like the only way to stop the pain. It's crucial to understand that while these feelings are real and valid, they don't have to be permanent. There are ways to work through them and find hope and meaning in life again. This video aims to provide information and strategies to help you or someone you know who might be struggling with these thoughts. Let's take a moment to clarify an important point. The desire to not exist is different from actively wanting to harm oneself. While both can be serious and require attention, they're not the same thing. The desire to not exist is often more about wanting relief from pain or escape from overwhelming situations rather than a specific plan to end one's life. However, it's important to note that these feelings can sometimes lead to thoughts of self-harm if left unaddressed. That's why it's crucial to take these feelings seriously and seek help if you're experiencing them. Remember, reaching out for support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Now let's look at how different cultures and philosophies view the concept of existence and non-existence. Many Eastern philosophies, such as Buddhism and Hinduism, have complex teachings about the nature of existence, non-existence, and the self. These traditions often view existence as cyclical, with birth, death, and rebirth as part of a continuous process. In some Buddhist teachings, for example, the goal is not to cease existing, but to transcend the cycle of suffering associated with existence. This is achieved through understanding the nature of reality and letting go of attachments. While this might sound similar to a desire to not exist, it's actually about finding a deeper, more peaceful way of being. Western philosophy has also grappled with questions of existence and non-existence. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus explored the seeming absurdity of existence and how humans create meaning in an apparently meaningless universe. Their works often touch on themes of alienation and the struggle to find purpose, which can resonate with those experiencing a desire to not exist. Understanding these different perspectives can be helpful in processing your own feelings. It shows that humans have been wrestling with questions of existence for thousands of years, and that feeling conflicted about being alive is a deeply human experience. Let's now turn our attention to the role of mental health in these feelings. The desire to not exist is often closely linked to mental health conditions, particularly depression and anxiety. Depression can cause persistent feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, and a loss of interest in life. When someone is deeply depressed, the idea of not existing can seem like a solution to ending their emotional pain. Anxiety, on the other hand, can make the world feel overwhelming and threatening. For someone with severe anxiety, the thought of not having to face their fears or worries anymore can be appealing. However, it's important to remember that these thoughts are often a symptom of the anxiety itself, not a true desire. Other mental health conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, or borderline personality disorder, BPD, can also contribute to feelings of wanting to disappear or cease existing. These conditions can cause intense emotional pain and instability, making life feel unbearable at times. It's crucial to understand that mental health plays a significant role in how we perceive our existence and our place in the world. Our mental state can color our experiences and thoughts, sometimes making everything seem darker and more hopeless than it really is. This is why addressing mental health is so important when dealing with the desire to not exist. If you're experiencing these feelings, know that there are ways to cope and find relief. Let's explore some strategies that can help. One powerful tool is mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. They can also help you stay grounded in the present moment rather than getting lost in thoughts about non-existence. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and focusing on the sensation of breathing. Or you might try a body scan, where you mentally check in with each part of your body, noticing any sensations without judgment. These practices can help create a sense of calm and connection with yourself. Another important strategy is connecting with others. When you're feeling the desire to not exist, it's common to withdraw from people. But isolation often makes these feelings worse. Reaching out to friends, family, or a support group can provide comfort and perspective. Sometimes simply talking about your feelings with someone who cares can make a big difference. If you're not comfortable talking to people you know, there are helplines and online support communities where you can connect with others who understand what you're going through. Remember, you don't have to face these feelings alone. Finding purpose and meaning can also be a powerful antidote to the desire to not exist. This doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing. It could be as simple as caring for a pet, volunteering in your community, or pursuing a hobby you enjoy. The key is to find something that gives you a sense of connection and value. Sometimes when we're struggling with these feelings, it can be hard to see any purpose or meaning in our lives. In these moments, it can help to start small. Maybe your purpose for today is simply to get out of bed, or to make a healthy meal for yourself. As you build on these small acts, you may find a greater sense of purpose emerging. Now let's talk about the power of perspective shifts. Our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves and the world have a huge impact on how we feel. If you're experiencing the desire to not exist, you might be stuck in negative thought patterns that make everything seem hopeless. Learning to reframe these thoughts can make a big difference. One way to shift your perspective is to challenge your negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking something like, "The world would be better off without me," try to question that thought. Is it really true? What evidence do you have for and against it? Often these thoughts are not based in reality, but are distortions caused by depression or anxiety. Another powerful perspective shift is learning to appreciate small moments. When you're feeling overwhelmed by life, try to focus on tiny pleasures, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, the sound of a loved one's laugh. These small moments of joy can serve as anchors, reminding you that life does have positive aspects, even when things are difficult. It's also helpful to remember that feelings and situations are temporary, even when they seem permanent. The desire to not exist often comes from feeling trapped in painful circumstances or emotions. Reminding yourself that change is constant and that you have survived difficult times before can help provide hope. While these strategies can be helpful, sometimes professional help is necessary. If you're consistently experiencing the desire to not exist, it's important to reach out to a mental health professional. They can provide specialized support and treatment to help you work through these feelings. How do you know when it's time to seek professional help? If your thoughts of not wanting to exist are persistent, interfering with your daily life, or accompanied by thoughts of self-harm, it's crucial to reach out. Even if your feelings aren't this severe, talking to a professional can still be beneficial. They can provide tools and perspectives you might not have considered on your own. There are different types of therapy that can be helpful for dealing with these feelings. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is one common approach. It focuses on identifying and changing negative thought patterns and behaviors. Dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, can be particularly helpful for people who struggle with intense emotions and thoughts of not wanting to exist. Other types of therapy, such as psychodynamic therapy or existential therapy, might explore deeper issues related to your sense of self and your place in the world. The right type of therapy for you will depend on your individual needs and preferences. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you're taking active steps to improve your mental health and quality of life. As we work through these challenging feelings, it's important to focus on building resilience. Resilience is our ability to bounce back from difficulties and adapt to change. It's not something we're born with, but a skill we can develop over time. One way to build resilience is by developing inner strength. This involves learning to trust yourself and your ability to handle challenges. It might involve setting small goals and achieving them, or pushing yourself slightly out of your comfort zone in safe ways. Each time you face a fear or overcome an obstacle, you build confidence in your own strength. Creating a support network is another crucial aspect of resilience. This network can include friends, family, mental health professionals, support groups, and community organizations. Having people you can turn to in times of need provides a safety net and reminds you that you're not alone. Developing healthy coping mechanisms is also part of building resilience. This might include exercise, creative expression, journaling, or any activity that helps you process emotions in a positive way. The key is to find healthy ways to deal with stress and difficult feelings, rather than turning to harmful behaviors or withdrawing completely. Another important aspect of dealing with the desire to not exist is prioritizing self-care. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and treats, although those can be nice too. It's about taking care of your basic needs and treating yourself with kindness and respect. Physical self-care is crucial. This includes getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, and engaging in regular physical activity. When we neglect our physical health, it can worsen our mental state and make everything feel more difficult. Emotional self-care is equally important. This might involve setting boundaries with others, allowing yourself to feel and express your emotions, or engaging in activities that bring you joy or relaxation. It's about honoring your feelings and needs, even when they're uncomfortable. Setting boundaries is a particularly important aspect of self-care. When you're struggling with the desire to not exist, you might feel obligated to say yes to everyone and everything, or you might withdraw completely. Learning to set healthy boundaries, to say no when you need to ask for what you need, and to protect your time and energy is crucial for your well-being. As we near the end of this video, let's talk about finding hope and purpose. When you're in the depths of feeling like you don't want to exist, it can be hard to imagine ever feeling hopeful again. But hope is possible, and often it starts small. One way to cultivate hope is by discovering personal passions. What are the things that light you up, that make you lose track of time? These don't have to be grand pursuits. They could be as simple as cooking, gardening, or playing with animals. Engaging in activities you enjoy can remind you of the positive aspects of life and give you something to look forward to. Contributing to something larger than yourself can also provide a sense of purpose and hope. This might involve volunteering, participating in community projects, or supporting causes you believe in. When we feel that our existence makes a positive difference, even in small ways, it can counter the desire to not exist. Remember, finding hope and purpose is often a gradual process. It's okay to start small and build from there. Each tiny step forward is progress. We've explored what it means to desire not to exist, common reasons for these feelings, and how they differ from thoughts of self-harm. We've looked at cultural and philosophical perspectives on existence and discussed the role of mental health in these feelings. We've also covered various coping strategies, including mindfulness, connecting with others, and finding purpose. We've talked about the importance of perspective shifts, seeking professional help when needed, and building resilience. We've emphasized the crucial role of self-care and the possibility of finding hope and purpose even in dark times. If you're experiencing the desire to not exist, remember that you're not alone. These feelings, while painful, don't have to be permanent. There are ways to work through them and find meaning and joy in life again. It's okay to reach out for help. In fact, it's a brave and important step. For those watching who may know someone struggling with these feelings, your support can make a big difference. Listen without judgment, encourage professional help if needed, and remind them that they matter. Every person's existence ripples out and touches others in ways we often can't see. Your presence in the world matters, even when it doesn't feel like it. There is hope, even in the darkest times. Take care of yourself, reach out for support when you need it, and keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please consider sharing it with others who might benefit. Remember, talking about these feelings is an important step in addressing them and moving towards healing. Take care and be kind to yourself.